All right.
Recording, great.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Natalia, and I'm the sales director for Bakra Distributors.
Okay. And I am Raymond. I am the let me get back here. Oops. Okay. I am the director of Middle Eastern operations for PepsiCo.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good.
Good.
So, it's come to my understanding that you're interested for us to distribute your soft drinks, and we are very, very excited and interested to join this partnership with you.
Okay.
So we've successfully distributed PepsiCo. We've worked with you in the past, and we're excited to start with this. And I don't know if you want to start talking about a little bit of your demands or your needs, or you want me to go ahead and start.
So, yes, we are. So what you've heard is correct. Uh, there are some things that we will need to discuss and kind of confirm as far as your capabilities and your capacities.
Okay.
Um, the last time we worked together, it was over 2 years ago. You guys successfully, you did everything that we asked you to do. You met all of your contractual agreements. It was at a limited capacity, though. What we are going to talk about today and moving into the future is a full capacity. So I'm curious to know what that means for you. Like, what is your operational capacity? Because we're trying to meet a certain percentage of the market, and given your financial situation, that's something that we're going to have to discuss as well. Uh, we need to know and have in writing as part of the contract that you are able to fulfill any obligations.
Okay, fair enough. So yes, we've had some financial hardships because of the economy, but we have been able to maintain and push through that financial hardship. We've had very good connections and experiences with Kumar, and we've also been very faithful to our employees. That's very important to us as well. So we've shown that despite the turmoil, we have been persistent and we've persevered to continue to work within this industry and continue to make these connections. Speaking about full capacity, we are ready to push anything. We need to make sure that we hit our target market is above anything above 60%. So we can
Okay.
automatically guarantee that we cannot go below 60%. That doesn't mean that I'm offering you 60%. That means that we cannot afford to go below that 60% target market rate.
Okay.
So that's
So
the
we're
guarantee that I can give you right now,
okay.
because us as an industry, that would mean too many financial hardships for us. So from that number on,
Uh-oh. Hey, I think you're muted.
yeah, my computer does that, sorry. With our efforts, it's very unlikely that we will hit anything below that.
Okay. So when we're talking target market, we're speaking specifically about Kumar, correct?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm speaking about.
Okay. So we're kind of on the same page here.
Okay.
We would definitely need, and to be honest with you, we're going to be somewhere. Of course, we have high expectations, so we would like to be in the 95% range.
Okay.
I know that's a tough ask. I know it's difficult to do in that region of the world, given the uh, political instability at times. There's insurgency. There's all sorts of things that can derail anything that we sit here and talk about. But of course, we want to shoot for the highest percentage that we can.
Correct.
Um, so given that we understand that 95% is a very tough ask, and that's shooting for the moon for us. um if you can't be under 60%, what if you're looking at the Kumar market right now and all of the provinces, what percent of that do you think you can touch?
I
That's
believe with our efforts and obviously with this opportunity, we are going to be pushing to touch 75%.
7. Okay.
75% would
Um,
be like our rate to touch. And hopefully that's not, I mean, we'll be pushing and striving for more, but that would be like our baseline.
okay. So that still is on the lower end for us because we, when we factor in our operating costs and everything that's not related to the actual contract that we're going to get into, um, that's still going to be somewhere around our break even point. I'll just be upfront and honest with you.
Okay.
I don't know how much of our, of our numbers you actually to learn and know, but we we would need to be somewhere around 90% to make this thing feasible. And I know we haven't talked money yet, but we are willing to offer if you are able to show your meeting, 80, 85, 90, 95%, we're prepared to offer tiers of comp, extra compensation for meeting certain goals. So we can
Okay.
get into that later when we start talking money, but just something to think about on your side, because really the most important thing for us is the distribution of product, is reaching as many customers as we can.
Okay.
So that's our main focus in all of this, is trying to touch as many people in Kumar as we can with the PepsiCo product.
Okay. Well, that's feasible. We're obviously very interested in distributing and working with you. So we will make these accommodations accordingly. If 90% is something that you're looking for, it's something that we can hit. But all of that now goes into our fee ranges.
Okay.
Um,
So let me ask you this. So when it comes to uh the financially, it I understand inflation. I understand all of the fact, you guys are loyal to your people, which is great. It's very admirable and it should be that way. Is it uh is it a manpower issue? Do you just not have the people to meet certain expectations? Like, do you need to hire more people? Would like I'm just trying to understand uh why uh it just seems like our targets are a little off, and in order to align them to a number that works best for us, because if we're going to be uh paying this and paying good money, I assume we just need to understand why it is that you guys used to be one of the best in that part of the world, 2 to 5 years ago, but there's been a noticeable drop in your performance, and we just want to understand why, and if there's any way we can help, make this arrangement better for the both of us as far as execution. uh can you just elaborate on that a little more?
okay, so it's been a little bit difficult with the government control issue that we've been having, but since there has been a change in government, that is what we're looking forward into moving on to new space. So like it was very difficult for us. We work with a lot of Western companies, and the former government didn't really work with us in that sense. But now that things are changing, we're looking for continuing on working within this, like working with the government of Kumar and like moving forward with our new prospects and reorganizing ourselves. So it's just a sense of reorganizing ourselves within the Middle East area. But it is something very feasible that we have done. I mean, we have worked with you before, and we know that you've worked with other companies with populations similar to Kumar. And it's something that we can do. And then we've also worked with you 5 years ago. We received 3.5 million for distributing PepsiCo, and we did fulfill that target range. So I think that we're here to help each other.
Mhm.
Like what is your objectives? What are your goals? And how can we help each other grow from this merger? Like come together with this partnership so that we can both benefit from this, because obviously we are very interested in working with you.
Yeah.
So if you want the 90, we can deliver the 90, but we need to work with each other in the sense of, okay, we need funding for that as well, and we can work with each other with that. But
Okay. Okay.
ultimately, this partnership is top priority for us.
Okay. That's good. Good to hear. Good to know. All right. So all right. So you mentioned 5 years ago. Yes, I did take a look at that. Was I believe it was 3.3 million,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. So with that being said, what would and as far as duration, are we looking for a year, 2 years, 3 years? What does your side have in mind as far as how long, of an agreement you're looking for?
We're looking for a long-term agreement.
Okay.
We don't have any set times. I don't know if you have any set numbers. We currently don't have. But what we are looking for is an established understanding, like partnership. So we don't have a set time.
Okay. All right, just wanted to
I don't know
see.
if your conditions have that, if you have those conditions.
Well, I just wanted to kind of get a feel for what you had in mind, because we were thinking more of a 1 year kind of prove it deal,
Okay,
where if, as I mentioned before, uh, there will be incentives for going over target percentage as far
okay,
as distribution of product, but there will also be deductions and penalties in the form of discounts for not meeting those targets.
okay,
So uh, I think it best that we establish a baseline number or percent that you feel comfortable with agreeing to, because we don't want to hold you to a standard that you're not capable of doing right now, but we're also um you know we're also prepared to make a generous offer to where you can possibly hire more people to
okay,
work exclusively for this project just to get it done. That's how serious we are about making this thing work. And since 3.3 was what we did last time, that's kind of the uh, area as far as a 1 year agreement that we were in, 3.3 million for 1 year. Um, with the uh, capability, or baked into the contract, of course you'll have certain incentives. So, but let's establish a baseline percentage and a baseline price.
okay. So can we do a baseline of 3.5?
Baseline of 3.5. Okay. Um, I think that's fair.
Okay. So if we do a baseline of 3.5 and you're looking at a percentage that we reach around,
I mean, you mentioned 90% earlier. That sounded good to me.
okay. So 90 is good. I mean, it's tough. Like it's target, like any given good year is 95%, right?
Yes. Yep.
The Middle East countries usually reach around 75%.
Right.
And 95 is a good day, taking away all the government issues, which we're still
Yeah.
trying to get out of, and the rainy days and all of the logistical issues. So 90 is really hitting high. Um,
Oh, I know.
hmm,
No, I want you to give me a number that you feel comfortable with, because keep in mind, once we have the lawyers write up the contract, we want there to be incentives for outperforming the baseline number.
okay,
But we also, we're serious about the distribution goals, and there will be, deductions for poor performance. So I want you to consider every possible factor here. We don't want to hit people over the head when things happen, but we also, it's extremely important that we touch as much of this market as we can.
okay. Do you have like an incentive layout? Like if we hit 95, Do you have numbers laid out that way? Is that how you worked it?
So what I had in mind was was a $250,000 increase for every 5%. And we can prorate it. You know, we can do the math. If it's, let's say we set the baseline at 85% distribution. If you distribute in a certain month, and what we'll have to determine if we're going to conduct our you know, KPIs quarterly, monthly, whatever, we'll have to do that. I think monthly is fair because things can happen. So let's say monthly. We'll see if you're meeting the performance goals. If you're up, let's say you hit 88%, we'll prorate it for whatever 250,000 of 5% would be. You know, I'm assuming that would, I don't have a calculator in front of me, but we'll just, you know, we'll just call it like 175. No, that's too low. Whatever the number is for 3% of 250,000.
Okay, so can we set it at 85, which is somewhere along the middle between 75% of your usual reach to that 95, which is your on good years. Can we set it at 85 at 3.5? And then you can deduct or add there. That be something you can do?
I think 85 is a fair number.
Okay.
That works for us. If we're doing that every single month for 12 months, I think we would be looking very good. And I think rewarding you with $250,000 for every time you go over that, I think that's for every 5% now. So we really want to incentivize you know, meeting that 95 and 100, which is almost impossible. But and I was thinking, you know, we don't want to be too punitive because we want to work together, but I would say if you start to dip below that 85, that maybe for every 5% you go, or let's just do 1%. Let's just do 1%. So for every 1%, let's just say that's $100,000. Or no, that's too punitive. 50,000.
Fluctuating.
Yeah.
Very fluctuating, putting on the pressure. But the baseline would be at 3.5.
The baseline 3.5 million for 12 months.
For 12 months. And then I would take on the hits if we don't reach that 85%, or if we go over that 85%, we would take on the riches, as I would like to say it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Your coffers would be flowing.
Okay. I think I could agree to that.
Okay.
Something that we can write up and the lawyers write it up and we can take.
Okay.
Very excited. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Yes, it was nice talking with you.
All right.
Look forward to working.